The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Early in the morning and late at night, he's there. Find out what I'm talking about on today's edition of Liberty at Home. Hello and welcome to episode number 25 of Liberty at Home here on ECAT. We're broadcasting today from Studio One at 50 Oliver Street, just a short walk away from America's best small-town library, the Ames Free Library. I'm Pastor Adam Riveiro from the Liberty Baptist Church, which also makes its home here in Easton. Today we're jumping right back into our study of Psalm 119, and we'll be reading verses 145 to 152. So follow along with me as I read. I cried with my whole heart, hear me, O Lord, I will keep thy statutes. I cried unto thee, save me, and I shall keep thy testimonies. I prevented the dawning of the morning and cried, I hoped in thy word. Mine eyes prevent the night watches, that I might meditate in thy word. Hear my voice according unto thy loving kindness. O Lord, quicken me according to thy judgment. They draw me nigh that follow after mischief. They are far from thy law. Thou art near, O Lord, and all thy commandments are truth. Concerning thy testimonies, I have known of old that thou hast founded them forever. Charles Spurgeon, the oft-quoted and oft-referenced Baptist preacher from the 1800s, wrote a treasure trove of books during his 38 years of ministry in London. Yet perhaps none of his books are more popular than the devotional called Morning and Evening. In this expansive volume, Spurgeon wrote 730 short devotions to be read in 1 year's time. And yes, you guessed it, he wrote one for every morning and every evening for the entire year. One has to wonder if Spurgeon's inspiration for morning and evening were the verses we just read. Look again at verses 147 and 148. I prevented the dawning of the morning and cried, I hoped in thy word. Mine eyes prevent the night watches, that I might meditate in thy word. At first, we might be distracted from the meaning of the verses I just read by the word prevent. In these verses, it's not used in the way we would typically use the word prevent today. For instance, when a football team uses a prevent defense at the end of a game, the goal is to allow the other team to move the ball and waste time on the clock, all while still preventing them from going into the end zone. And by the way, just a personal opinion here, it's almost always a poor defensive choice. But anyway, back to the Bible. Here, the word prevent gives the idea of one going before or to precede. Now, with that understanding, let's read the verses again. I go before the dawning of the morning and cried, I hope in thy word. Mine eyes go before the night watches, that I might meditate in thy word. Now we see it. The psalmist says that both at the start of the morning and the start of the evening, he found hope and comfort in the word of God. Today, I want to encourage you to start your day and end your day by thinking about the Lord and his word in the same way. Ironically, nowadays, most people start their day and end their days by looking at their phones. And look, I'm there too. It's easy to start the morning by checking the email, and it's just as easy to end the day by scrolling through the endless loop of social media. Yet, how much are we actually edified and comforted by these types of habits? How much better would it be if we started our day reading the Word of God, meditating on His goodness to us? How much better would it be if we wound down our evening with a few minutes in the Word to refocus our mind before we start our bedtime routine? It reminds me of Psalm 63, verse 1, where David says, O God, thou art my God. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is. The prophet Isaiah also reiterated this when he said in Isaiah chapter 26, verse 9, With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Today, I want to urge you to find ways to integrate the Lord and His Word into your morning and evening routine. Look, it doesn't need to be elaborate, but I promise you, spending just a few minutes dwelling on the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords will make your mornings better and your evenings too. Well, the clock's telling me that our time is about to expire for today's episode of Liberty at Home. But before it does, I want to remind you that you're always welcome to join us for services at Liberty Baptist Church. We meet every Sunday and Wednesday at 800 Washington Street, Route 138, right here in Easton. Look us up at mylibertybaptist.org. I'm Adam Riveiro, reminding you that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Catch you next week, right here on Liberty at Home.